Man, I had a great time on that Ohio State show. I like those guys. I never met them before, but they treated me fair. They were good people. I liked it over there. I would go on there again. I had a good time.
That sounds good.
I just dropped like 150 milligram edible, and I'm feeling fucking zooted. Honestly, I'm feeling fucking zooted, and I'm feeling fucking zooted, and I'm feeling fucking zooted. Honestly, I'm fucking zooted. Zooted. Fucking zooted.
Larry, you should have tuned in to the shit show / disaster stream on Saturday night. You would have seen plenty of girls booty dancing. Of course, that's because we were fucking zooted. Yeah, Darius, about to storm here again too. Yesterday stormed and it's getting cloudy and starting to thunder outside again now. Yeah, that show we did on Saturday was so good it got banned in 23 countries. I have the email from YouTube to prove it.
Fucking zooted.
Unlock a new world of efficiency.
The hell? No.
Fucking zooted.
Yeah, that.
Fucking zooted.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm feeling fucking zooted.
So many frequencies on which an alien civilization is broadcasting.
Fucking zooted.
Fake news, Matt Dummett. You must be fucking zooted.
Civilization like broadcasting that it required a systematic patient observing program. Argus had been in full operation for more than 4 years. There had been glitches, intimations, false alarms, but no message. All 131 telescopes of Project Argus were controlled by...
We'll start in just a few minutes. I'm running a little bit behind. I was on a Ohio State podcast at 7:30. We were supposed to end at 8:30, but they made me mad. No, they didn't make me mad. But we got to arguing on there, and I stayed on there a little longer than I was supposed to. So we'll get started here in just a few minutes.
Fucking zooted. Feeling fucking zooted.
Hey, Mike, at the very end, I went off on him about how embarrassing it must be to have a losing record to your rival, and then Michigan owns you. I laid it on pretty thick at the end. They were good people. They were nice people. I had a good time on the show, though. I don't think either one of them were fucking zooted, though.
I'm feeling fucking zooted. Fucking zooted. Feeling fucking zooted.
we're going to start the show in just a few minutes. I am running a little bit behind. I was on an Ohio State podcast, and it ended a little late, so just another minute or two.
Escape the cycle of suffering and become enlightened. There's no such thing as the meaning of life.
I'm feeling fucking zooted.
For those of you asking, it's this channel right here. And this is the episode with Uncle Lou on it. Let's see. It's called the Ohio Podcast. Anyway, yeah. All right. How's everybody doing? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Uncle Lou After Dark, the college football call-in show. Sorry, I'm still trying to get situated here. I'm running a little behind. All right, there we go. Does anybody know what Sea-Dog's big announcement was from earlier? I missed it because I was doing that podcast, but is his wife pregnant or like, what's the deal? Is anyone there? Is anyone? How's everyone doing? Yeah. How am I feeling today? I'm glad you asked.
I'm feeling fucking zooted.
Yeah. You tell him, Elon. You tell him, bud. How's everybody doing? They're having a baby. That's what it is. All right, I guessed it right then. No, they were good people over there. I had a good time on the podcast. Yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff going on in the world of college football. We had a good time. They treated me fair. It was a good time over there. They have a good show over there. It was mainly the chat over there that was getting out of control. It seemed like most people in the chat knew who I was, so they were looking for an argument. I didn't go on the show to argue. We didn't even talk about Ohio State or Georgia or whatever that much on the show. It was kind of just more of like a general what's going on in college football type discussion. But the people in the chat over there, my reputation precedes me. Apparently, so they must have knew what time it was. They was looking to argue the whole time, and then finally at the end of the show, I gave in and started responding to some of those numbnuts in the chat, and that's when it kind of started to go off the rails there a little bit over there on the Ohio podcast. But I had a good time. Got nothing but nice things to say about the two hosts over there. They were good people. They treated me right. They have a good show, and I had a good time. Yes. Had a good time. But now it's time for the call-in show right here on Uncle Lou After Dark. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9 p.m. We're going to open up the phone lines here in a second. If you'd like to be a part of the show, click the StreamYard link in the description of the video. I will do my best to post it in the chat a couple of times throughout the show, but it is available in the description of the video. Just click that link. It'll put you in a back room. You'll be able to hear the show while you wait. And when it's your turn to come on, I'll put you on and we'll talk some college football. That's how it goes. So what is going on? Well, the House settlement has been finalized. Finally, it's not really a surprise or out of the blue. We've known this was coming for a while. So we'll talk a little bit about that if you want to. I did an Alabama prediction video yesterday. And, things just don't always go as you kind of... I've got a lot of pushback on that Alabama video, but... I know they had a down year last year. They were 9-3, but I actually think they're going to be better this year than they were last year. So, I don't know. Most years, it's weird. Most years, if I picked Alabama to go 11-1, I'd get attacked the other way. Oh, you're an idiot. They're going 12-0. There's no way they lose one game. This year, I picked them to go 11-1, and everybody's like, oh, you're an idiot. There's no way they go 11-1. They're going 8-4. They're going 9-3. And they might. But things don't always happen like you think they will. So, I don't know. I mean, I can't pick them to beat Georgia. That's obvious. So, that's a big win in September for Bama. They're not losing to Florida State in week 1. I guess it's possible they could lose to LSU, but they beat LSU by 40 last year at LSU. This year they get LSU at home. So I've got them winning that game. They get Oklahoma at home. They get Tennessee at home. They play South Carolina on the road. I've got them losing that one. They could, obviously, they might not go 11-1. They might go 10-2, 9-3, 8-4. I don't know, but I've got them at 11-1, which means they're probably headed to the SEC championship game. I seriously doubt there's going to be two 12-0 teams in the SEC. Could be Bama, Texas. Could be Bama, Georgia rematch. Could be Bama LSU rematch, could be Bama Texas A&M, could be a Bama South Carolina rematch. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know, but I did do that. So if you want to call in and tell me why I'm wrong about it, you're welcome to do that. Or of course, we can talk about anything you want in the world of college football. When you take the time to call in, the floor is yours. Talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. Earl Carr says, "Greetings, Lou. How you dogs looking?" They'll be good. The question is, will they be good enough to do A, B, or C? Make the SEC championship game, win the SEC championship game, make the playoffs, win some playoff games. Those are open questions. There's a lot of new at Georgia. New quarterback, 4 new offensive linemen, all new wide receiver core, a new running back, 2 new outside edge rushers on either side. A lot of questions. And another tough schedule of home games against Bama, Texas, and Ole Miss, road games at Auburn and Tennessee, neutral site game against Florida, neutral site game against Georgia Tech at the end of the year. So another tough schedule. Auburn making the playoffs. In what? Not football, bud. Not football. How's everybody doing? Let's take roll and then we'll get to the phone calls. G-Man, Bama Man, Soprano Man. No, Soprano San. Okay. Spank Mapleton Man. Roger Dodger Man. Uncle Badass. Goose Sports. Bryce H. Post. Evan 215. Carolina Jackpot. Tony Voigt. Biggs Mike. Dari. or Darius or whatever. Could be, I don't know, some combination of the three. Chops is here. Hoghead, Go Irish 1971. Ryan Pearson. Yep. Dorado D is here. Tennessee's going to whoop everyone on the schedule. Yep, just like every June. Tennessee's going 100-0 and winning it all. The offseason is your time to shine, Tard man. Hey, Tard man, why don't you have a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up, bud? Because does it feel like 1998, bud? It is June. That's the thing. It feels like 1998 every single June for Tard Nation. And then that giant tidal wave of reality called the regular season comes around. And you can't do shit. A damn thing. You did manage to win the SEC last century, which is impressive. Hope everyone knows how to unmute. I don't even know what that means. You want me to mute you? I'd be happy to do it. I'd be more than happy to do it. Just let me know. What's going on with the baseball games. Anything interesting there? No, not really. Not really. I am tempted. I'm not gonna that. Not gonna that. Blue says, this is my donation to Luniversity NIL Collective. Thank you, Blue. Thank you. Direct donation to what keep these live shows on the air. I'm mentally retarded, and so I choose to play music at the beginning of these streams, which means I cannot monetize these streams. So direct donations are what keeps these things on the air. So salute, buddy. This sip of coffee is for you. Thank you for helping to support the show and the channel. If you'd like to help support the show, the Super Chat's a great way to do it. It's located right below the comment section. Just click that $sign. There is also a Cash App and a PayPal. Those links are in the description of the video. I'll post them in the chat. There they are. Great ways to help support the show and the channel. You can attach a note, a question, a comment, or a troll attempt. Just keep in mind that whatever you type, I am going to read it, and I am going to respond accordingly. So keep that in mind if you choose the troll attempt as an option for yourself there. Farmer J says, keep up the good work, Woo. Thank you, Farmer J. Thank you. And I hope you keep farming well, too. That would be good. So thank you. Thank you for helping to support the show. Cotton Eye Joe. Morning, sir. The Duck Knight says the Big Ten and the SEC are two of the best conferences in college football. They're the two best. Not two of the best. They're the two best, yeah. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Good morning, what's wrong with Uncle Lou?
Hey, Uncle Lou, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, buddy. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good.
I just kind of wanted to. I'm not gonna take too much of your time. I just kind of want to show you something. Can you see that right there?
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I just finished that this weekend, so I just wanted to call and kind of show you this.
Yeah. How many do you have
Pretty
now?
happy about it.
How many do you have now?
Gosh, I just got one today. I think
That looks like
I'm
about
over
60
50.
or so. Yeah.
I think I got 52 of them.
Yeah, that's about. He's got a mini helmet collection, y'all. Y'all can't see it, but he's showing me his mini helmet. Yeah, you got a nice collection there.
Yeah. It's been about 3 years going now, starting it, and I started doing it because of you. I've been a big fan of your channel.
Yeah, I started during COVID. Yeah, I started during COVID, so yeah. I'm 5 years in now, and I've got about 120.
Yeah, and it's addicting.
It is. Yeah. And then even when you start getting most of the like I've had the entire power well, going back to what was the Power 5, now the Power 4. I've had all those for years. But then you find yourself going, because, you know, a lot of these teams now will wear like alternate uniforms or helmets or something. So then you find yourself going, well, shoot, I've already got a Oklahoma State helmet, but man, that one looks good. So like there's several that I've got, like several schools I have like 2 or 3 of their helmets just because I really wanted a certain one or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It's a sickness and a disease.
I get that. I don't know how far I'm gonna go with it, but I just know I've caught the bug, and I just for 3 years now I've just been kind of off and on, just going through spurts of buying them. So
yeah, it gets harder and harder the longer you do it because the more obscure schools are harder to find. So I've got the entire Power 5. I've got most of the Group of 5, but like once you get into like FCS or Ivy League or HBCUs, things like that, they become harder and harder to find. And more expensive.
Yeah, I've seen in videos that you had the Ivy League, and I've searched for those, and I can't find those. So I don't know how.
I'll tell you what happened.
I've searched them.
There's a guy in the comment section. He's been around forever. His name is Celine Driver. He's a Florida fan. He lives down in Florida, and he has a lot of family members that attended some Ivy League schools. And he actually went on eBay. He bought them all. He bought all 8 of the Ivy League, and he found them all on eBay. Because I asked him the same thing. I was like, how the hell did you find these Ivy League helmets? And he said, eBay. So he bought them and sent them to me. So shout out to Celine Driver for that. But yeah, those obscure ones get really hard. Like I've got a Coast Guard helmet. Those are hard to find. I've got 4 or 5 outside of the Ivy League that are like really obscure and like hard to find. But yeah, it gets harder the more you get because they get harder and harder to find the more obscure teams.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of your collection, and yeah, you have some pretty cool ones in there. Ones that I wouldn't even have thought about.
Yeah, I usually do like a collection video once a year in the off season. I'm in the process of remodeling back in here, so once I get the rest of the helmets hung up on this wall over here, maybe I'll do another one of those off season like helmet collection update videos and go through some of the cooler ones.
Well, honestly, it's up to you, but I would like to see that collection video because I definitely would be really interested in that.
Yeah, I'll do it for sure.
Personally. All right. Well, I just had I'm gonna go here in a sec, but I just wanted to tell you one more thing. Like as a big college football fan, this past season I got to knock off one of my bucket list items. I've always wanted to storm the football field after a big win, so I finally got to do it this year.
Which game?
It was the Mountain West Championship game, UNLV Boise State, and Boise State won. Yeah. We all stormed the field, and we tore the goalpost down and threw it in the river.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been a part of that once too. I've been a part of that once too, and I tell everybody, I said, every diehard college football fan should get to experience that at least once in their lifetime. It is an amazing experience.
Yeah, and I got to do it with my dad and my brother, so it was like the best experience of my life.
Yeah, so, you'll always remember that, man. I'm telling you, I've been to, I don't even know how many Georgia games I've been to. Some of them I don't remember like anything about the game, nothing. I barely even remember going. But I remember everything about that game when we stormed the field, and that was 25 years ago. And I remember it like it was yesterday. So you'll especially you doing it with your dad, you'll always remember that.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Lou, I'm a big fan of the channel. Thanks for letting me on, man.
Yeah,
it was good to talk to you. I'll see you later,
buddy.
Man.
Yeah, good luck with the helmet collection, man. It looks good. You're off to a great start. And yeah, as soon as I finish rearranging in here with the backgrounds and the sidewalls and all that and get all the helmets hung back up, I'll do sort of a helmet collection update / studio tour video or whatever it is. All right, well, great call-in show tonight. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I guess nobody else wants to talk college football, which is fine with me. I'll be happy to knock off early if that's what we need to do, but we'll leave the lines open for another few minutes. I don't see the StreamYard link in the description. It says Evan 215. Let's see. Oh, that's because it's not. Yeah, that's because it's not. But I just fixed that problem. I don't know how I must have deleted it instead of copying and pasting it. Now, as far as why I made that mistake, well, there's an obvious answer.
I'm feeling fucking zooted.
Yeah, that's got to be how I made that mistake there. Because I'm so fucking zooted. Yeah. And also, yeah, Uncle Lou, nice first line of helmets. Yeah, well, those are the only ones that are going there. That's the top 15. All right, so it'll be updated every week during the season, but that's the top 15. No, there ain't no more helmets going back there, except the year season is over. Helmets will go right there every week during the season, but the rest of the helmets are going on this wall over here, on the side wall over here. Anyway, you'll well, not I say the rest of them. There's some over here. The service academies are over here. The Ivy League is going to stay over here. The top 15 is going to stay there. The year season is over. Teams will go there during the week, and the rest of the helmets are going to be on this side wall right here. But you'll see it in another couple of weeks after I get it finished up. Yeah, I bet Texas fans are still having nightmares about Jack Sawers' scoop and score. Thanks for having faith in this team, this Bama team. I hope your prediction comes true. I hope it doesn't. But I mean, I don't. I know. I mean, I've been doing this long enough. I know how it works. If I make a very positive prediction about a team, then I'm smart. I know what I'm doing, and I'm fair and unbiased. If I make a negative prediction about a team or a prediction that team's fans disagree with, then I'm an idiot. I have no idea what I'm talking about, and I just hate their team. But in reality, I do the predictions based off how I feel a team is going to do in a given year. And again, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be right or wrong, but I don't make predictions. Most people would tell you that most people would probably think I hate Tennessee the most out of any other team. Well, I had Tennessee at 10-2 and making the playoffs last year. I mean, I hate South Carolina. Am I going to have them going 2-10? I mean, the reality is I'm about as down the middle when it comes to prediction videos as anybody you're going to find. I'm not biased one way or the other. For Georgia, against Georgia, or for or against any other team. Now, I may end up being wrong. I mean, of course I'm going to be wrong. I'm going to do game-by-game predictions for 40 or 50 teams where not only do I predict the record, but I predict who they're going to lose to, which is extremely hard to do. So, of course, I'm going to be wrong. But whether I'm right or wrong doesn't mean I'm biased or unbiased one way or the other. I mean, I have certain feelings and certain things I think about certain players and certain teams and certain coaching staffs and how the schedule lines up and all that. And that's what the predictions are based off of. Not, well, he just hates my team. No. I mean, how many years in a row did I predict Ohio State to go 12-0 or 11-1? Does that mean I love Ohio State? I'm not sure. Not sure. What's up, Mike?
Go Blue.
Yeah,
hey Lou.
That.
Fuck OSU.
Right.
Have a great night.
Okay.
I'm Judith.
Okay.
See you in Nashville.
All right. Thank you. Short and sweet. Biggs Mike says, fuck Ohio State, and he wants to let us all know. He wants us to let us all know that he wants to let us all know that he's
feeling fucking zooted.
Yeah, that he's just feeling fucking zooted. There's nothing wrong with that. Good morning, but you're on with Uncle Lou though.
What up, Lou? Maze Hayes, retard in the building.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Go ahead. I'm just turning the fan. I didn't. Somehow I turned the fan off, and I'm like, why is it so hot in here? Well, it's because you got the fan off, dummy. Well, turn it on. I just turned it on. All right, go ahead.
What up?
It's
What's
probably
going on
because
with my Michigan men in the chat.
You know why I did. You know why I accidentally had the fan turned off, don't you?
You're zooted.
I'm fucking zooted. I'm fucking zooted. I didn't even know the fan was off. Go, how zooted am I? I'm shit. All right. All right. Sorry. Go ahead. This is a serious show.
Yeah, very serious. It's been 2019 days since Ohio State beat Michigan. Man, God Almighty.
You're gonna make them mad, bud.
Yeah, well, it's just facts, man.
It is facts, but I mean, that don't mean they ain't gonna get mad.
Yeah, so I just wanted to come on here, talk some Michigan football, go over the roster to start. I'm not really worried about the defense. We lost a lot of elite guys in the portal, but I think this year's defense is going to be a lot deeper. Might go 8 guys deep on the D line. Secondary is also going to be deep. A lot of seniors coming back at linebacker, so not too worried there. Only issue I see with the defense is we're missing Connor Stallions. And, I was really hoping he'd be able to come back. But, yeah, last I heard he was looking for a dust filter for a Hoover Max Extract 60 Pressure Pro. So I don't think we'll be able to bring him back, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The offense has a lot more questions, obviously. Start with the good stuff. I think the running backs will be elite. Justin Haynes, obviously the transfer from Bama. And then if you watch the bowl game against Bama last year, Jordan Marshall, he was a true freshman. He was running all over them. I'm really excited to see him. Tight end play is always good. Honestly, even more so than the quarterback, I've been hearing people are worried about the offensive line, and that's not really in character for Michigan. But, like, if we're playing a freshman quarterback and the O-line doesn't help him out, that's really got me worried. We got Mikey Keene out the portal, but he got hurt. So we're probably going to have to go with Underwood. I think we're going to lose week 2 at OU, to be honest. It's going to be Underwood's first road game.
I could see that. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not saying Michigan was better than Oklahoma last year, in my opinion. So I'm not saying otherwise, but they were very similar teams. Oklahoma had a good defense last year. Their offense was a complete and total disaster. Probably worse. I mean, I think it was definitely worse than Michigan's.
I don't know about that.
But so that could be a low scoring game, and it could come down to like who makes the least amount of mistakes type of thing. And Oklahoma's got a new quarterback, but he's an experienced quarterback from Washington State at John Mateer, and they're at home. So I do think that'll be a tough game for Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, looking at the schedule, I think that's probably the game we're most likely to lose. After that, I'm hoping they can split at Nebraska and at USC. I think we're more talented than Nebraska, and I know people are high on USC this year, but I don't know if you remember the game last year.
Yeah.
Michigan beat USC last year throwing for 32 yards.
Yeah.
They ran the ball for 290 yards. And, I mean, Lincoln Riley defense, like, I mean, people are high on USC, and it's on the road. And in the Big Ten last year, there was a trend of the teams out west, when they would travel to the normal Big Ten teams, they would lose. But when the normal Big Ten teams would travel out west, they would lose. So we're going to have to make that long travel, play on the road. But, I mean, if it's Lincoln Riley defense, we can run the ball. And then after that, it's like kind of nobodies until Ohio State.
Yeah. Yeah, it's as far as Big Ten schedules go, it's a manageable schedule. You've mentioned sort of the possible landmines, the road games with Nebraska and Southern Cal, and then of course there's a big one at the end of the year with Ohio State. But that's a home game for Michigan, and I mean, look, do I think Ohio State is better than Michigan? Yeah, but I think Ohio State was better than Michigan last year too, and not 2 years ago, but 3 years ago, yeah, and 4 years ago. So it doesn't matter. I mean, I think Georgia's better than Bama a lot of years, too. Doesn't matter. Bama beats them anyway. And Michigan beats Ohio State anyway. So do I think Ohio State's going into Ann Arbor with a freshman quarterback or whatever he is, redshirt, whoever the fuck saying, and winning? Maybe, but I'm not predicting that. Ain't no way. I mean, so you might be right. I mean, you might be right.
For me, it is nice being on this streak, but I'm 23. My whole life growing up, we lost every single year. So this is a nice streak,
but not now.
I'm not counting that game as a win at the end, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, if let's say they lose the OU, they split Nebraska, USC, they beat the teams they're supposed to, and they win at home at the end, that would be 10-2, 8-1 in the Big Ten with a possible Big Ten championship berth. I mean, I don't think this team is a top 2 team in the Big Ten, but the schedule is really manageable.
Yeah, well, Penn State wasn't a top 2 team in the Big Ten last year, but they made the Big Ten championship game. I mean, because of the schedule differences, making a conference championship game doesn't necessarily mean you're quote unquote one of the best 2 teams. I mean, Ohio State was the best team last year, but they didn't even make the Big Ten championship game. So, yeah, I mean, Michigan's got a shot to, I think, surprise a lot of people because, right now, a lot of people aren't paying attention like me and you are, and people that watch a channel like this in June, we tend to be more informed than people who are going to wait and tune in September, But so, all a lot of people know right now about Michigan is that they went 7-5 last year in Jerome Moore's first year, and that they have a brand new freshman quarterback this year. So they're probably not, expecting much, but especially if Underwood can really all these, and here's the thing, he doesn't have to be Cam Newton this year. Like, look at how bad Michigan's quarterback situation was last year. And yeah, they were 7-5, but they beat Ohio State. They beat Bama. Like they had some good wins. If they can just get, 130, 140 yards passing a game, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you look at it compared to last year's Michigan team, you're like, okay, yeah, maybe a little bit more balance would certainly help the running game even more. They're going to have a good defense like they usually do. So they got a chance. With the way that schedule sets up. Hey, Evan, thank you for the call, buddy. It was good to hear from you. Good luck to your Wolverines. Good morning, but you're on with Uncle Ludo.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
How you been, man?
Good.
How you, bro? It's been a while since I've been on, man.
Yeah.
I ain't know you was back on the air, man.
Oh, yeah. I didn't go nowhere. I'm here. Yeah. I'm like an extra shadow.
That's what's up, man. I really ain't even... Be honest with you, Lou, I really didn't have much to talk about, man. I just wanted to call in. It's been months since we had a chance to chop it up, man. But what do you think? What do you think about them expanding the playoffs?
I don't. It's not that I mind a 14 or a 16 team playoff. I don't mind 14 or 16. But what I do mind is the constant change. I like. We had the 4-team playoff for a decade. For 2 years, they worked out an expansion to 12 teams. And then before we even played the first 12-team playoff last year, they were already talking about expanding it again to the 14 or 16. So, like, if they would have went from 4 to 14 or 4 to 16, like, I wouldn't have had a problem with that. So it's not the number of playoff teams that is weird to me. It's that why after only 2 years, and really the decision was made before we even played the first 12-team playoff. Now we need 14 or 16. I'm just like, do we really need to do that? I mean, so it doesn't bother me in the end that we go to 14 or 16, but it's just a constant, never-ending change, and it needs to stop at some point.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm gonna tell you something I also agree with. I've been listening. I had to listen to all the shows to get caught up to like this one. You know what I'm saying? I went back and retroactively listened to all the shows. But you were asking on the last show, you was talking about a situation where what will work going forward with the seeding, because you didn't want like you're right, man. It's stupid to try to go from people picking the national champion on a national level to going and picking them on a conference level, because now you got even more clusterfuck, because you got each individual conference gonna have a situation where somebody think they deserve to get in.
Yeah, and here's the thing: the politics are even worse on the smaller scale.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, they
so
are.
like you take any individual conference. The politicking within an individual conference is going to be even worse than it is on a national scale now with the playoff committee. So it's just insanity to me that you would do all this legwork to figure out a playoff system that eliminates the playoff committee, just to turn around and institute a committee that ranks the conference at the end of the regular season instead of using the conference standings. That's just that's just insane to me.
Yeah, I agree with your proposal, but I'll tell you what they should do. I think the seeding should borrow from what the SEC did for as far as basketball. Are you familiar with how the SEC does their basketball tournament?
No.
So it used now they don't have East and West, but back in the day it used to be like the East number 1 against the West number 8 or number 6 or whatever it was, and stuff like that. So it went like the East will have to play somebody from the West will have to play somebody from the East. I think they should do it like that, break it down into 14 brackets, have an SEC bracket, a Big 12 bracket, a ACC bracket, and a Big 10 bracket.
Yeah.
And, like say the SEC number 1 would play the Big 10 number 4, and the SEC number 3 would play the Big 12 number 2. I'm number 3, and the SEC number 3 would play the ACC number 2, stuff like that. And you have conference representing each bracket.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
But I think that's the way we could do it because you wouldn't have like it's already set in stone. It's gonna be this way either way. It don't matter if this one bracket gonna be this year's just particularly tough and it's another one that's easy. So what? That's just how it goes.
I could not agree more. Sometimes things are harder. Sometimes things are easier. It is what it is. You couldn't be more right. There's 135 teams. There is no way to devise a scenario or a scheduling model or anything else where all 130 teams are playing a strength of schedule that is exactly the same. Some teams have a harder road in a given year. Some teams have an easier road in a given year. Georgia had a way harder schedule last year than Texas A&M.
Oh, yeah.
Why did Georgia make the SEC championship game but not Texas A&M?
Yeah.
Because Georgia was a better team. Yeah, it's you can have a hard schedule and still get to the postseason. Like, it is possible to do that. So this idea that, and the problem is that it's not that they want strength of schedule to matter. We all want strength of schedule to matter to a certain degree. Some of these people want strength of schedule to matter, and that's it. Like some of these Alabama fans, I mean, they're still going on about last year's playoff. Well, they're talking about SMU shouldn't have been in. They didn't beat anybody. SMU also didn't lose to two terrible teams.
Yeah,
like
right about that.
I mean,
like
what are we talking about here?
Like if you look at the NFL model, strength of schedule. Like if I win the Super Bowl this year, then next year I have to play the hardest schedule presumably the hardest schedule. I have to play the top people from each division from last year. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't make it easier on the champion. So if you talking about like Alabama, you couldn't cry anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You always
makes
on
no
top.
sense.
You don't have to play the tougher schedule.
Yeah.
And one more thing, Lou.
Yeah.
Right before you picked up my call, man, I had just finished eating me a delicious Sports Center hamburger from down off Broad Street.
Oh man, yeah. It was greasy too, wasn't it?
Man, it was greasy as hell.
Yeah. Boy, you know what? I haven't been down there. I need to go down there and get me one. I have not. It's probably been 10 years since I went down there. I need to go down there and get me one.
My brother's always down there. Every time he come in town, pretty much he go down there.
Yeah, you ain't lying, man. Those things are so good.
I went down there with him this time.
Yeah.
And I haven't like you. I haven't been there since before COVID.
Yeah.
But I got to go get me one today.
Yeah. Well, you ain't lying, man. Them things are good. You got me thinking about it now. All right, Mark. Good to hear from you, buddy.
Man, thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, we'll talk to you next time. There you go, Mark. Check it in. Yeah, there's this. I don't know if it's I guess it's technically a bar. It's in downtown Augusta in like the bar district downtown. So I guess it is technically a bar. But anyway, they serve food there too, and they sell a hamburger there that I'm not shitting you. Before you're done eating the hamburger, like the bun is falling apart because there's so much grease. But it is the best hamburger that I've ever eaten. It's unbelievably good. Now, it's got to be one of the most unhealthy things I've ever eaten, too. It can't taste that good and be healthy. But I'm not shitting you. They serve it in the red plastic container. You know what I'm talking about? It's a red plastic plate thing. And then a piece of paper is in the plate. And then they set the hamburger on top of the piece of paper, and it comes with fries or whatever. That piece of paper is dissolved by the time you're done eating that hamburger because the grease has just eaten through it. But it's the best hamburger you'll ever have. And it's called the Sports Center on Broad Street in downtown Augusta. And I have not been there. It's probably been at least 10 years since I've been there. But my God, that hamburger is good. He ain't lying. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Morning, Lou.
Hey, what's up, bud?
So you're telling me you didn't come up with that restaurant with that creative name, Sports Center?
No, I didn't come up with that. No.
Well, I wanted to call in and ask, what are your thoughts about ESPN's top 25? I mean, I know it's early, but
you talking about the FPI or?
No, what ESPN put out, like their top 25 that they put out, and have Georgia as number 2.
When did that come out?
I think Sunday or Monday.
Let me see if I can find it.
Well, Josh Pate did a thing on it.
Well, first of all, here's the thing. a TV channel has never put out a top 25.
It's crazy.
So somebody at ESPN put out this top 25. That's why I need to find the top 25 so we can see who put it out. I know the FPI came out, but I don't know.
1 is Texas, 2 is Georgia. Now, I'm a Georgia fan, not a Bama fan, as you like to fuck around with me on. But
I'm on ESPN, and I don't see any new top 25 on here.
No, it's like literally got dropped.
I'm not calling you a liar. I'm telling you it's not on ESPN.com.
Yeah, no, like you're saying,
the FPI is on here, but I don't see.
Well, one of them's got Georgia. The one I saw has Georgia's number 2, and I'm like, as a Georgia fan, I'm like, whoa, what?
Yeah, this is the FPI. It's got Georgia at 2.
All right.
Right here.
What's the difference between the FBI and the?
The FBI is a computer ranking. It's a power rating. It's not a ranking. The FBI it's a computer model.
It's just like averages.
It's not an average. It's just a computer model called the FBI, the Football Power Index, and it's a power rating. So according to this computer model, Texas would be favored over Georgia. Georgia would be favored over Ohio State. Ohio State would be favored over Alabama. Alabama would be favored over Penn State. Penn State would be favored over Oregon, and you just go down the list.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, that's what that means.
Damn different ratings coming on.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Okay. No, man. I honestly, that's all I wanted to call in and ask you.
It's more of a Vegas type of thing than it is a ranking or a poll. It's a power rating.
Understood.
Yeah, like when Georgia plays Bama, Georgia's going to be favored.
Yeah,
well, I don't think I don't think that surprises anybody. And according to that FBI ranking, if Texas and Georgia were going to play in Week 1 on a neutral field, Texas would be favored.
Well,
that's what that means.
I don't think Georgia. I'm with you, Georgia. Until they beat Bama at least 2 times in a row, I'm not favoring them.
Yeah, when I say favorite, I'm talking about the Vegas odds. So, if Texas played Georgia on a neutral field, according to that FBI ranking, Texas would be a 3-point favorite over Georgia. It doesn't mean Texas would win. It's just a power rating of which teams would be favored over who on a neutral site. That's all it is.
Understood. Yeah. I wish people would explain this a little more to instead of just putting out these models. You know.
Well, I wish they wouldn't even do it, because you got certain people like Josh Pate that are trying to turn the college football postseason into a Vegas circus. Like, just because someone would be favored doesn't mean anything. Like this, because this is the argument. So teams like Alabama last year that went 9-3. Okay. Alabama would have been favored to beat about 8 of the teams that made the playoffs. Well, guess what? They were favored to beat Vandy and Oklahoma, too. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't, I don't care that you'd be favored or not. That has nothing to do with it. I saw you lose to Vanderbilt and Oklahoma. You got 3 losses. You don't deserve to be in. But you got people like Josh Pate and some others that all they care about is, it's the whole argument about the best 12 teams. There's no such thing as the best 12 teams. That doesn't exist. It's people's opinions on who they think 12 best teams are.
We don't know.
Right. And you do know what you do know, which is that Bama had 3 losses. 2 of them were to terrible teams, Vandy and Oklahoma. So I don't care that the if we would have looked at that FPI rating last year after the conference championship games, Bama would have been in the top 8, top 7. And all that means is, for example, Bama would have been favored over SMU, Indiana, probably Clemson, whatever down the list, Arizona State. But some people want to use that to determine who gets into the playoffs, and that's where I just have a massive disagreement. A rating is for people that want to bet on the games. Outside of that, it shouldn't be involved in determining who does what in the world of college football, in my opinion, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm. He just brought up one. Man, I am super interested in Arizona State this year. Like, it's going to be my secondary team, in my opinion. I'm a Dogs fan, but,
Arizona State, you said? Yeah. Well, they were fun to watch last year. The Big 12 in general is fun to watch. And, yeah, Arizona State's going to be good. I mean, the quarterback is back. They got a wide receiver that's probably going to get drafted in the first or second round. They got 10 of 11 starters back on defense, Arizona State does, and they were first against the run last year in the Big 12, so they're going to have a good defense again. They are going to miss that running back, and they can't replace him.
No.
But they got as good of a chance of winning the Big 12 as anybody else does out there.
And the coach knew what they needed to replace from an interview I watched a couple of days ago. He knew. He knew the deficiencies. So I think that'll be fun to watch, man.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I appreciate it, Lou.
All right, Bryce.
Keep you too much longer, man.
Yeah, man. Good to hear from you, buddy. He's kind of right about the people not explaining a power rating versus a ranking. Josh Pate has to deal with that all the time when he puts his thing out every week or whatever, because he does a power rating, and there's a huge difference between a power rating and a ranking, and it does get confusing. And for people that like to gamble on sports, myself included, I think we sometimes forget that not everybody does that, and not everybody cares about that. In fact, probably the majority don't. So when you put out a power rating as opposed to a ranking, it can be confusing sometimes for people. Because, for example, in a power rating scenario last year, right? I forget what Alabama was ranked or rated before they lost to Vandy or before they lost to Oklahoma, right? But when they lose those games, they're going to drop in a ranking, right? You lose, you drop in a ranking. In a power rating, they don't necessarily drop at all. And you might say, well, how's that possible? Well, again, to use Alabama as an example. So they were favored to beat Vandy, right? They lost to Vandy. Do you think if they were playing again a week later, Vandy would have been favored? No. Bama would have still been favored the following week to beat them, even though they lost to them the week before. And because a power rating only cares about who would be favored over who, you can lose and not fall at all in a power rating. And it can be confusing. And like ESPN is an example, like that, the FBI, like it doesn't say on there, this is a power rating, not a ranking. This is just neutral field favorability. That's all this is. It's not a ranking. It's just this team would be favored over this team. This team would be favored over this team. This team would be favored over this team. They don't do that. But that's what the FPI is, the Football Power Index. It's a power rating. And there is a big difference between a power rating and a ranking. And I'm not saying one's better than the other or whatever. There's a difference, and a lot of times it can be confusing if you don't know that what you're looking at is a power rating as opposed to a ranking. Biggs Mike, what's up, buddy? He says, all time, 62, 51, and 6, Michigan owns Ohio State, man, hashtag zooted. Yeah, that is true. I mean, that's not an opinion or anything. That's just, I mean, it is what it is. Every series has a start date and where you're at now, and that's called the series record. And Michigan owns the series record over Ohio State. Now, Ohio State fans get extremely upset about that, and I don't blame them. You have a losing record to your rival. I mean, I don't blame you for being upset about it if you're an Ohio State fan. But a series between two teams includes every game. A series is not a cherry-picked section of time. A series between two teams includes every game ever played, and Michigan owns that. And Ohio State fans don't like that because
I'm feeling fucking zooted.
Yeah, because they're zooted. They're zooted. Sherrod Moore has more wins against Ohio State than James Franklin does. Dang. Well, Michigan's a better program than Penn State, are they not? Keep up the good work, Lou. I don't know if that's supposed to be an insult towards James Franklin or not. This is what got me riled up on that Ohio State podcast I was on earlier. I just cannot understand the hate for James Franklin. I just don't get it. I don't even really want to talk about it because I don't want to get myself all riled up again. I was riled up an hour and a half ago, and I don't want to do that again. There's not 10 coaches on the planet better than James Franklin. Whatever team you're a fan of, if your coach quit tomorrow and you had to hire an existing head coach from some other school, there are not 10 coaches you would hire ahead of James Franklin. If there are, then you're retarded and you don't deserve to be making hiring decisions. You're an absolute idiot if you would go through 10 coaching candidates before you got around to calling James Franklin. You're an absolute retard. No, you can't name 10. I don't even think you know 10 coaches. Never mind name 10 better than James Franklin. No, you can't. You can't. You're lying. Call in and do it then, dummy. You won't because you can't. Call in and tell me 10 coaches better than James Franklin. You won't do it because you don't have the ability. Because there aren't 10 coaches better than James Franklin. Yeah, you know it, I know it, and the Argentinian people know it. Now, let me check these baseball scores and before y'all make me mad. The Nationals and the Mets are tied at 4. They're in extra innings. It's going to the bottom of the 10th. The Mets will be coming up to the plate. I need the Mets to score a run and win this game. I have a bet on the Mets, so I need them to go ahead and do that for me immediately, or if they can, sooner than immediately. Sooner than immediately. Yeah, exactly. No one's clicking the link to come on and tell me 10 coaches that are better than James Franklin, because there aren't 10 coaches better than James Franklin, and that's just a fact. Now, I'm going to take a 5-minute break to go pee, and I'm going to give you dumbasses 5 minutes to think about 10 coaches that are better than James Franklin. When I come back from peeing, I expect somebody to be calling in and telling me the 10 coaches that they think are better than James Franklin. I'll be back in a minute.
Feeling fucking zooted.
Jacob Watson thinks the only 3 elite coaches in all of college football are Kirby Smart, Ryan Day, and Dabo Swinney. Because he's retarded. Jacob Watson thinks Ed Orgeron is better than James Franklin. Jacob Watson thinks Gene Chizik is better than James Franklin. Jacob Watson steps on his tongue when he walks, so he thinks Jimbo Fisher is better than James Franklin. Edward O thinks Ed Orgeron is better than Brian Kelly. Slaw, you've never had 10 of anything other than bad ideas, but call in, bud. There's nobody waiting in the back room to give me their list of 10 coaches that are better than James Franklin, but I'm waiting.
Feeling fucking zooted, honest. I'm feeling fucking zooted. Fucking zooted. Zooted. Feeling fucking zooted. Zooted. On fucking zooted. Fucking zooted. Fucking zooted. 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 Fucking zooted.
Good morning, you're on with Uncle Lou.
Say that whoever came up with that idea of the 10 best coaches or 10 better coaches than Franklin was a little bit of a tough puzzle, but it's not that hard.
Well, it's impossible.
No, now let's just go through the list a little bit here. So I'm going to get rid of the ones we all can just lop off the list real quick. Kirby, Dabo, Day, Kiffin.
Dan. Whoa. No. What has Kiffin done that Franklin hasn't done?
Let's put it this way.
Franklin has a Big Ten title and 2 playoff wins. Does Kiffin have any of that?
Yeah,
no.
But he didn't have that title when Michigan and Ohio State were back. So
no, Kiffin is not ahead of James Franklin. Who recruits better?
Well, look where he is. He's at Penn State.
Okay. So, well, what about when he was at Vandy, winning 9 games a year there? Is that a bunch of inherent advantages at Vandy too? Anyway, who's next? Who else is better than? Okay, so Kiffin's better than James Franklin. Okay, who else?
Sarkisian.
Okay, Sarkisian. What has he won? 0 conference titles in the SEC, right?
Well, yeah, but he's about to start there because he's got it. Last year he was close, and this year he'll be even closer. I mean, I think if he doesn't win it this year, it'll be amazing.
Sarkisian is close. I'll even give you that one. Sarkisian is better than Franklin. So right now, Franklin's the 5th best coach in the country.
Okay.
All right, who else you think? Because Kiffin's not ahead of Franklin, but who else you got?
So I had Brian Kelly.
Bud. Brian Kelly's 0-8 in major postseason games. What are you talking about?
He's
got 0 conference titles. He's winless all time in conference championship games.
All right.
0-2. He's got no playoff wins.
Well, it actually, I wouldn't say he's better than him. I'd say they're about equal.
Well,
but
you'd be wrong. So okay, so Franklin is still 5th.
Okay. How about the coach at Utah? Well, I don't remember his name.
Whittingham. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, he's good.
I'll give you
that. He's really good.
All right, Franklin is 6th.
Okay. The other one that I thought of was the Texas A&M coach, who seems to be coming around. Well, Franklin's really just coasting on the laurels of Kent State's name. He's not that good. He can't even win the freaking conference from Day anymore. I mean, between Day and Michigan, he's behind the scenes, man. He can't do it. It's true. I don't see Franklin as that good myself. Now, I have a couple more on here that I would put in as candidates to be better than him. So, how about your...
Thank you for the call. Man said Mike Elko. The man said Mike Elko. See, that's why I wanted somebody to call in. That way they can prove my point for me, and I don't even have to prove it. The man said Mike Elko is better than James Franklin. Actually, he didn't even know his name. Mike Elko is so good. Mike Elko is so much better than James Franklin that Slaw didn't even know his name. He said, that Texas A&M coach. Yeah, that Texas A&M coach that used to be at Duke and beat the fuck out of Dabo Swinney on opening weekend a couple of years ago. That guy, you don't remember that guy's name, Slaw? His name is Mike Elko, bud. He's never made it to a New Year's Six game, never mind won one. He's never even played for a conference championship, never mind won one. Never made the playoffs, never mind won 2 playoff games. What are we doing? 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 Good morning, you're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, Lou, how are you?
I'm not good.
I can tell. Anyhow, yeah, I just think that my top 10 with Franklin, I had him at like 6 or 7. I don't know where, but
that's
it's like
fair.
He's one of the 10
that's
best.
fair.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. So
here's the thing. You know what trips me out the most is when Big Ten people shit on James Franklin and they say he's not any good. Because you know what they're saying? They're saying that the Big Ten is dog shit. Because if the third best coach in the Big Ten every year is terrible, then the Big Ten is complete dog shit, which I don't believe for a second. But that's what set me off on the Ohio State podcast earlier. They were dogging James Franklin about how terrible he is, and I'm like, he's the third best coach in your entire conference. Sorry, your conference must be complete dog shit. If James Franklin is terrible, then the Big Ten's a group of fucking 5 league.
Yeah, that's too true. It's like I don't know anybody who'd take like a Lincoln Riley over James Franklin after what we've seen.
I know at least one person that I know one person that would, and it would this person, because
fucking zooted.
Yeah, because he would anybody that did that would have to be completely fucking zooted.
I don't know where that's come out of. I heard that phrase like 10 years ago, and now it's come back into the mainstream.
Well, I just found out about it, so I'm not letting it go. You know how I'll run the shit into the ground, like 5-star dummy or dang or any of these other stupid things that I come up with off the top of my head. I'm just going to say zooted a million fucking times probably now at the end of the year. So,
well, it makes me laugh anyhow, Lou. You know, so I think that's the name of the game, you know, and that's why I like your channel. But anyhow, the main reason why I was calling is you made a prediction with Bama, and you've done prediction videos, and I've actually kind of tracked your predictions against mine, right? This is the first one we kind of have a bit of a disagreement on. I just, you know, they only return like 5 starters on offense, you know, and I think right now Ty Simpson might be overvalued, and so I got them at going like 8-4 or 9-3. You know, I just think they're a year away. In particular,
I hope you're right, because I hope you're right.
I think their defense will get a lot better. I think they got like 8 starters returning on defense, so I think their defense will be fine. But I still kind of think like maybe they're a year away, and they definitely South Carolina, that game's going to be tough for them, I think. And the Iron Bowl, you know, that's always a crazy thing, you know, and Auburn or Alabama, especially when they're playing in Jordan-Hare, they always invent some way to lose the game.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, you know, it's like you want to watch highlight plays, watch any Iron Bowl from in Auburn, you know, from like the last 10 years. But anyhow, I guess that's my point on that one. I got 3 crazy predictions, and that'll be it afterwards.
All right.
You know, 3 crazy predictions. Malik Murphy leads Oregon State to a 10-2 record and gets drafted in the first round.
I like Malik Murphy now.
Yeah, I do too. I'm a Texas fan after all, so I mean, I kind of pay attention to where our players go in the portal if they choose to go in the portal. Second one, UNC goes 9-3.
I almost took my headphones off and walked away again. You don't believe that.
The strength of schedule is very weak for them.
They're in the ACC, bud. Duh.
I know. They could go. Again, their strength of schedule is bottom half, you know, in the FBS. So I think it's, you know, it's like, you know, you have those years where some team goes crazy, you know, because of a strength of schedule. Like Syracuse, for instance, if North Carolina had Syracuse's schedule, they'd go 4-8. You know, like Syracuse drew off schedule.
Yeah, but
so again,
Syracuse has a coach that knows what he's doing.
True. But anyhow, it's maybe I'm
relying. The name? Do you know the name of Fran Brown, the coach of Syracuse?
Fran Brown, yeah, I do.
Do you know the name of his wife?
Probably not. No.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't, and that's good.
Yeah. Well, you make a good point there, you know, but again, it's maybe I'm overvaluing him with this like NFL pedigree in particular.
Yeah,
you know,
North Carolina's not an NFL team. He's not an NFL. He's in college now. Different ball game.
Oh yeah.
Ball game.
But, and the last one, you're gonna like this one. You know, Deion Sanders gets fired after going.
Hey, come on, man! They're not firing Prime, man. Hey, he's smoking one now. Now Colorado might be bad this year. That I could buy. I don't think they're firing him though. Come on, man.
I know that's
he might
a bold
quit.
prediction. That's probably not going to come true.
Yeah, he might quit or something. Yeah, he could possibly quit maybe. All right, man. Thank you for the call. Good to hear from you. Good luck to Texas this year. Vol man, what's up, buddy? You got to unmute yourself or get someone to show you how.
Hello.
There you go.
I'm a Tennessee fan.
Yep.
And I wasn't gonna say there's 10 coaches better than Franklin.
Good.
But I just, you really not think Heupel is better than James Franklin?
No. What? Hey, stop it.
Look, okay, listen to me.
Stop it. James Franklin did everything at Vandy that Heupel has done at Tennessee. What's Heupel done? Heupel ain't done nothing.
Franklin, it's a lot easier to recruit at Penn State than it was at Tennessee when Heupel got there. Because Heupel got there after the Jeremy Pruitt and all the sanctions. So think of how hard it was to.
Is it hard to recruit at Vandy because he did everything at Vandy that Heupel's done at Tennessee?
No, no.
So
he never won a New Year's Six.
Heupel's not bad
at Vandy, like Heupel did.
Sorry, no, he's not. James Heupel's never made the SEC championship game. He never won a playoff game. No. Heupel's in the top 15, maybe top 12, but he's not ahead of Franklin. No.
All right, Lou. Well, I was just calling in to see what you thought about it.
Yeah. You argued your points well. I just disagree. That's all. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, Lou. So would you agree that you have to be an elite team, you have to beat elite teams?
To be an elite team?
Yeah.
To be an elite team, do you have to beat an elite team?
You have to be able to beat elite teams.
I guess it's possible somebody could go all year without playing an elite team.
Okay.
I don't need to see Alabama or I don't need to see some good team play the 85 Bears to know whether or not they're a good team. I can watch a team play just about anybody and tell whether or not they're good.
Well, I'm saying if they do play elite teams. So my point is James Franklin really an elite
James
coach?
Franklin's not a team. He's a coach.
Yeah, but I'm trying to make my next point. Okay, so how is James Franklin an elite coach if he can't beat elite teams?
Who says he can't beat elite teams? He's got a Big Ten title.
Yeah,
he won 2 playoff games. How many did Georgia win?
His record against top 10 teams, though, it's like 1-15.
Is Ryan Day an elite coach?
I think he was born on third base.
Is Ryan Day an elite coach?
There's guys that would take over him.
I'm going to give you one more chance to answer the question. Is Ryan Day an elite coach?
No.
No. Okay. So how many elite coaches are there?
I would go 4 right now.
Who are they?
Kirby, Dan Lanning, Sark, and Marcus Freeman.
What elite teams has Dan Lanning beat?
Well, I think he'll end up being elite. So maybe he's not elite at the moment right now. But
so who are the 10 coaches that are better than Franklin?
I didn't say there was 10 coaches better than Franklin.
So you're just arguing over what defines an elite coach or not. You think there's only 4 elite coaches in all of college football, and one of them is Dan Lanning? So your top 4 coaches in college football are who?
What'd you say?
Who are your top 4 or 5 coaches in college football?
My top 4 would be the 4 I named.
Kirby, Dan Lanning,
Sark, Marcus Freeman. Because I'm a Georgia fan, so if Kirby were to die tomorrow for whatever reason, those other 3 coaches would be the first 3 I try to hire.
So Marcus Freeman is an elite head coach, but Ryan Day isn't.
Well, no, Marcus Freeman, but Notre Dame hadn't won anything for years, and then he's recruited better than Notre Dame has in years.
Well, what have they won now?
They just made the national title. They beat.
Didn't Ohio State just make the national title too and win it against?
Yeah, but Ryan
Marcus
Day took over
buddy.
Do you think?
Thank you for the call. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? I think Marcus Freeman is a top 10 coach. I'm surprised nobody named him until now in the who's better than Franklin argument. But you're putting him ahead of Ryan Day? Ryan Day has the highest winning percentage in the history of college football. Period. Not except this. And did Ryan Day take over a loaded team? Yes. Is Ryan Day the first coach to ever take over a loaded team? No. Why don't all the other coaches that took over loaded teams have the highest winning percentage of all time? Isn't Ryan Day 2-0 against Marcus Freeman? How many losses to group of 5 teams does Ryan Day have? Because Marcus Freeman has lost to a group of 5 team 66% of the years that he's been a head coach. Marcus Freeman's been a head coach for 3 years. He's lost to a group of 5 team 2 of those 3 years. I feel like I'm on one of those hidden camera shows. Like somebody's about to pop out from around the corner and go, it was a practical joke. These people aren't really that stupid. They're trying to get you riled up.
Fucking zooted. 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 Zooted.
The Mets won. Pay Lou. Pay him. Good morning, you're on with Uncle Lou. Oh, they dropped off. D3. That was D3, but he just dropped off. Hey, K-Star. I know the Braves are terrible, but even terrible teams win games sometimes. No Major League Baseball team's ever gone 0 and 162. So last week, it was like Wednesday or Thursday. I don't remember which day it was. I did bet the Braves to win. And in the 9th inning, the Braves were up like 10-4, I think it was. The Braves were up 10-4 in the 9th inning. And they gave up 7 runs in the 9th inning and lost 11-10. and I lost the bet. The damn Braves. Well, Man, the Braves are down bad. The Braves are not zooted enough. Nearly. The Braves need to be way more zooted. Boy, they're bad. They're real bad. They gave up like 7 runs in the 9th inning and lost 11-10. I said, man, you got to be kidding me, man. What in the world? What is going on here? The only bet I have left today is on the Diamondbacks to win. And right now it's the bottom of the 3rd inning against the Mariners, and there's no score. That's the only game I have left today. Is the Diamondbacks. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Fucking zooted. Yeah. James Franklin only needs to learn how and when to put the pedal down in key moments. Yeah. Who's the next team for a prediction video tomorrow? You know what? I haven't decided. It's probably going to be a Big 10 or a Big 12 team. I guess I might as well just go ahead and do the Penn State 12-0 prediction video and go ahead and get that over with. I don't know. Is Kalen DeBoer better than James Franklin? That's close. That one's close. I mean, if someone were to make the argument to me that DeBoer is better than Franklin, I wouldn't call him retarded. Like I think a case can be made for DeBoer over Franklin. I think it's close. I think wherever you have DeBoer ranked, you would have Franklin somewhere near there, whether that's one spot ahead, one spot behind, a couple of spots, whatever it is. I guess you don't have to beat elite teams in a 10-year span, according to Uncle Lou. But again, you can't name 10 coaches better than James Franklin. So no matter how much rage typing you do, you were on the phone for 10 minutes and couldn't name 10 coaches better than James Franklin. So you called in to argue a totally different point. That's how retarded you are. You didn't even call in and try to make a case for 10 coaches. You called in and tried to argue over the definition of what an elite coach is. And you weren't even really smart enough to do that because you were talking about teams, not coaches. Well, you are retarded. I mean, it's not a coincidence that I called you that. I mean, James Franklin has won more and accomplished more than 2 of the coaches that you claim are elite. Lee Corso was a coach. Yeah, he was. When did he quit coaching? Mid-'80s? Early 80s? I mean, Jacob Watson doesn't even think that Ryan Day is an elite coach. So it's hard to take anything he says seriously after hearing him say that. Quit sunshine pumping these Bulldogs. I haven't done any Georgia Bulldog sunshine pumping today. None. Will Jimbo Fisher coach again? I don't know. Have y'all ever listened to him on satellite radio? He's on one of those college football shows during the season on satellite radio. It is interesting to hear him. He was more interesting to me as a radio guy talking about teams in the season, in the games. But he's still pretty young, isn't he? I would imagine if he got offered a decent job somewhere, he would take it. The other thing is he's sitting on $80 million, not to coach. So, I mean, maybe he won't. Lou, do you think the college football playoff ever expands beyond 16? My gut says no, but because of everything we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years, I wouldn't bet on it one way or the other. Who's better all time, Kirby Smart or Dabo? I'd go with Kirby. I mean, they both have 2 natties. Kirby's done it in a harder league. And Kirby is, 2-0 against Dabo? I don't know, Ben. I don't have a list like an order that I go down. There's a list on my Patreon page where people there's a post on my Patreon page about the prediction videos, and then people just leave a comment on there about what team they want me to do. And when I sit down to do a team each day, I just kind of pick one off the list. I don't really plan the list out, other than I try not to do teams from the same conference back to back to back to back to back. I try to mix it up. So I'll try to pick like an SEC team, then an ACC team, and then a Big 12, and then a Big 10, something like that. Yeah, Florida's 2020 team was pretty good. It's definitely the best team they've had in 15 years. Yeah, there was a couple of years in the mid 2016s where I thought the ACC might have been the best conference. .2012 Florida team was good. Well, not good enough to make the SEC championship game. Lou, do you expect more slow starts from Georgia's offense this year? Seems to have become a trend. I hope not. I hope not. Is Ferentz better than Franklin? No. No. Lou, guess what Gamecocks have that Miami doesn't? An ACC championship. Does Auburn have a top 3 receiving core in the country? No. In the country? No. Top 3 in the SEC? Maybe. Not in the country, no. Do you think Kirby will ever develop as a coach to have a legitimate passing offense with NFL receivers? Doesn't have to be elite, but will it improve? You mean like Ladd McConkey, Brock Bowers, George Pickens? Is that what you mean? Will Kirby ever develop as a coach to have a legitimate passing offense? Last year, Georgia was 14th in the country in passing yards per game. The year before that, they were 12th in the country in passing yards per game. The year before that, they were 13th in the country in passing yards per game. So that's 3 years in a row they were top 15 in the country in passing yards per game. Will they ever have a wide receiver room like Ohio State? That's a different question. No, they won't. Asian Posh. I didn't really intend to roast the Buckeye fans over there, but it was, you know, I had a good time over there. Those are good people over there. I liked that show. Any chance USC Junior makes it to the playoffs this year? Yes. Any chance? Yes. They were 1 win away last year. I mean, there's also a chance they go 7-5 or 6-6 or something. I mean, there's a wide range of possibilities for South Carolina. And really, that's the case with a lot of teams that are sort of in that talent level. Like South Carolina doesn't have a top 10 or a top 15 roster, like in terms of just talent, top to bottom. But if they can pull off a couple of big wins and have really good quarterback play or something like they did last year, then who knows? You know, maybe they find themselves in a situation at the end of the year where they're competing for a playoff spot. Like South Carolina is one of these teams like that. In a random year, they can, you know, be good enough to make the playoffs. They're never going to be, and I don't mean this as an insult to South Carolina fans, but I mean they're never going to be like, you know, Georgia, Ohio State, you know, Bama, Oregon. They're never going to be one of these teams that's sort of considered to be in the mix for the playoffs every year. But especially now that we have 12 teams and eventually going to 14 or 16, you're going to have 7 or 8 teams every year that make the playoffs that might be 500 teams the following year. You know what I mean? Like you look at last year, Indiana, SMU, whatever, you know, like, I mean, do you think Indiana's is going to become a playoff contender every year? No, they're not. You know, but because the playoff field has expanded, it used to be more rare. You know, when we had the 4-team playoff, like TCU making the title game, like stuff like that was rare. Or even getting into the playoffs, you know. But because we have 12 teams now and then going to 14 or maybe 16 or whatever, about half the playoff field every year is going to be like a random team. And South Carolina it could be one of those teams in a given random year somewhere, right? Yeah, I'm not saying that to crap on South Carolina at all. I mean, I you know, there's a lot of college football teams that are that way, you know. Dan Mullen's the best coach Florida's had in 15 years. James Franklin has a top 3 shaved head. Lou, are you going to live stream college football 26? No. No, I'm done with that. Florida State will make the playoffs. When and in what sport and in what year? Looking back, that Georgia and Kentucky game last year was weird. 13-12. Yeah. Yeah. The difference between the Georgia-Kentucky game and the Alabama-Vandy game is that Georgia won. That's the difference there. The Alabama-Vandy game was weird, too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, in hindsight, the LSU game really hurt South Carolina last year. Yeah, I'll take that bet about Florida State making the ACC championship game. I'll take that bet. think Texas is being overhyped. Yeah, they're the favorite to win it all in a lot of places. Who is the worst QB in the SEC? Are you asking me to guess who the worst starting QB in the SEC will be this coming season? Boy, I don't know. You can usually count on Kentucky to have a pretty bad quarterback. Missouri's starting a new quarterback this year, aren't they? Because isn't Brady Cook gone now? I don't know. If it's the Mississippi State, I haven't done a Mississippi State prediction video yet, so I have to look into them. But the quarterback they had last year actually wasn't that bad. G5 Joey? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I'm going to head out. All right, buddy. See you next time. Yeah, I'm going to end it here in a minute anyway. It's late. Do I think Auburn could go 9-3? No, I don't. I can't buy in on Jackson Arnold. And what Hugh Freeze does offensively is so dependent on high-level quarterback play to be successful. I can't. My honest opinion, I think the best thing that could happen to Auburn would be for them to win 5 or 6 games and fire Hugh Freeze, because Auburn's got a talented roster outside of the quarterback position right now. If they wait another couple of years with Hugh Freeze while he's busy, treading water at 7 or 8 wins or something, the roster could get worse. I think Auburn's got a decent roster right now outside of quarterback, and the best thing that could, might be to go a different direction. I don't know, but I don't think they can go 9-3. I think probably 8-4 would be the high water mark for Auburn, and that would probably be enough for Hugh Freeze to keep his job. Anything less than 8 wins, and I think there's a chance he gets fired. Yeah, they've recruited well there outside of the quarterback position, but he keeps missing at quarterback. And some coaches and some offensive systems and philosophies are a lot more dependent on high-level quarterback play than others. And Hugh Freeze is one of those offenses. He's got to have high-level quarterback play, and he hasn't had that. And we all knew Auburn was going to go into the portal to bring a quarterback in. We didn't know he was going to go into the portal to bring the worst starting quarterback in the SEC last year in. And that's what Jackson Arnold was last year. If there was any quarterback in the SEC last year that was worse than Auburn's, it was Jackson Arnold. So I don't understand that move at all. Now, maybe Hugh Freeze works some kind of a miracle with Jackson Arnold, and he ends up being amazing. And if that's the case, then I think Auburn gets to that 8-win mark that we're talking about as a ceiling. But my God, he was bad last year. And I'm surprised Hugh Freeze took him, because it seems like Auburn is in desperate need of quarterback help. And so I don't understand looking around in December at the transfer window and going, that's who we want, Jackson Arnold. I don't get it. I don't get it. How do I think Oklahoma will do this year? I think they're going to be a better team than they were last year. I don't know if their record's going to be much better. I mean, they might get to 7 or 8 wins. I think they could beat Michigan early in the year. I don't see them beating Texas. They got to play at Bama. I've got them winning against Tennessee in Knoxville, but they'll probably be an underdog in that game. They might Might can get to 8 wins, maybe. I mean, Oklahoma's got a really tough schedule too. All right, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. It's almost 11. But I appreciate y'all hanging out tonight. Thank you to everybody that took the time to call in. If I yelled at you or whatever, hopefully you know that's just what we do here. And I don't hate you, even if I do think you're retarded. And James Franklin is a top 10 coach, and there's not a person on the planet that can name me 10 coaches better. And that was proven for the 500 millionth time tonight on this show, which is always good to do. But anyway, it was fun to hang out with you guys tonight. I'll be back Thursday night. We'll do it all over again, the call-in show on Thursday at 9 p.m. I hope everybody has a good Wednesday, and I will talk to you again soon. Have a good morning.